Update AITA for telling my wife it was a mistake to stay at a baby's shower? So I texted my coworker, let's call him Frank, and asked if we could talk, so we met up during our lunch break. I apologized for everything that happened. He kept telling me it's fine and being so nice about it, and that kind of made me feel worse. He said he has booked Mary a ticket back home for a week and that her sisters and friends were going to surprise her with another baby shower. I asked if he'd mind my wife and I paying the expenses of the baby shower they were going to throw. He laughed and said no way, but that he appreciated it. We went back and forth a bit, but he eventually said he'd ask his sister-in-law how much she spends on everything and then would let me know and we can pay half of it. I spoke to my wife when I got home from work. She apologized for ignoring me and said she doesn't know why she behaves like this. She said she is embarrassed and she can't bring herself to come to terms with how she behaved. We also spoke about the infertility thing. She said she thought her saying it out loud and discussing it with people would make it easier for her if she found out she was actually infertile, because she would have already come to terms with it. I don't get it. But hey, at least she didn't dodge accountability this time and did acknowledge that it's wrong and she needs to stop. It's slightly worrying to me how she sounds like a completely new person so often lately. Almost like there are multiple versions of her who don't know each other. I said I'm glad she now realizes it's wrong, and asked her to send flowers or something with an apology note to Mary's house. I also mentioned that I offered to pay for the next baby shower and she told me to insist that she pays it all and not half. I said I'm fine with splitting it. She also said she would bake a cake and go to Mary personally to apologize. I told her Mary is leaving town for a week, so that we'll have to wait till she gets back, but she did send a lengthy text with a sincere, in my opinion, text. Mary responded saying my wife didn't need to apologize and that she understands what happened, and thanked her for attending her baby shower. Mary also apologized for leaving without saying goodbye to my wife and the rest of the guests. You see how nice Mary and Frank are. Jesus Christ. We decided on both individual and couples therapy soon. Anyone know if it's okay to do them simultaneously? She wants to, but I'm not sure it's a great idea. It was a given that we would stop trying for a baby, so that's definitely on hold for now. So yeah, that's it for now, I guess. I've never been to therapy and neither has she, so I'm hoping this is the beginning of our relationship getting much healthier, and our individual growths as well. Thank you so much to everyone who responded. My mind is blown by how many of you did. Hope you all have a great year. Yes, do couples and individual therapy, do them simultaneously. Did not expect that kind of update after the first post. I mean, your wife acknowledging she is behaving badly after being so unhinged. So there might be some hope there. Give Frank and Mary some space. My guess is that while they are being nice, what they really want is to forget about what happened. So reach out to Frank on your own about paying for the shower. But suggest your wife give Mary some space, at least until after the baby is born. Man, Frank and Mary are the MVPs. My newborn daughter died just 3.5 months ago, so I feel qualified to say I understand pregnancy, babies being triggering to someone. With that said, this is beyond someone being triggered. You hadn't been trying for very long in the grand scheme of things and have no reason to believe either of you is infertile. What your wife has done is to ruin a pivotal and beautiful moment in someone else's life because she isn't in the same position. Ever seen a child break someone else's toy because they don't have it? It's the same scenario. I'm glad you're putting a pause on trying to conceive, because the extremity of the self-centered behavior is concerning. Babies need to be the most important person in your life. They need all your attention and are utterly dependent on their caregivers. If your wife cannot let anyone other than herself have things she doesn't, and can let her jealousy and insecurity hurt others, I would be concerned about her becoming a mother. Thank you for understanding the severity of this situation and for dealing with it. I wish you both the best. I'm glad she's owning it now, and this is only because I've been on Reddit too long. When you say your wife is making a cake, I got creepy vibes like she would put something in it. Not saying she would, but Reddit got me messed up. Hope that counseling works and you guys end up with your own baby. Edit for spelling. Oh god, I've been waiting for this update. AITA. Well, that went just about as well as it possibly could. #original post here. Make sure she doesn't make a big deal out of paying for the shower. I am guessing they were declining the offer at first as they don't want her involved in both showers. But she's working her way into the second one by paying for it. I think you all need to leave Mary alone. Just curious, in the last post you mentioned you stayed at a show nearby because you knew this would happen. How often or how many times has she had situations like this? Also, if she has convinced herself that she is infertile, has she gotten a second opinion? It is nice that your wife now wants to apologize. I would deter her from baking a cake and dropping it off to apologize or paying for the entire shower. Both of those seem like attention seeking by your wife. A sincere apology is enough. Frank already told you no more is necessary. I think your wife should step away from pregnancy-related things until she has had some therapy. Honestly. She insists that she pays it all and not half. She needs to stop making this about her. Your wife has already tarnished the first one. I doubt Mary wants to have any association with your wife at the second one. They are just too polite to say anything. She needs to give them space. Also, this is coming from a woman with multiple reasons for my infertility. I replied to your first post, IDK if this is better or worse. But she definitely needs therapy. Life is full of disappointments and bad news. A few months of not getting pregnant is not even bad. It's normal and maybe a bit disappointing. But have you seen her handle stress before? What if something happens to you? Is she going to support you? Or will it be self-involved histrionics? What if you have a child and they are sick? Or all of the 10,000 other things that happen to kids? Is she going to run your actual kids, friends, extended family away? I would personally be reflecting about how you've seen her handle other disappointments. Even though she is accepting accountability, she still did this? When Frank Sill responds with the amount, just send a check for double the amount. The whole thing. I would have been mortified if my wife hijacked a party like that. It was very generous of you to offer to pay expenses. However, if they threw her another baby shower, I wouldn't have your wife try to go over and apologize. Just let it be at this point. Throwing a second baby shower means basically that wife ruined first one. Don't force the pregnant wife to be kind and accept an apology that she probably doesn't want to accept. It sounds like you did your best on trying to make things right though. Mary at this point needs to stick to therapy and talk to the lady later after she's had some time to let therapy work. Thank you for the update. Please don't let your wife continue to push Mary in any way. Insisting on paying, making cakes, etc. That's just another way of making things about your wife. She's been given an incredibly gracious amount of forgiveness and she needs to drop it now. And leave Mary and her husband alone. Send a nice gift as a couple when the baby is born and leave it at that. I hope things work out and that your wife gets the help she needs. Whether that is talk therapy, medication for depression, or whatever. If you can, see 3 therapists, one for her, one for you, and one as a couple. That way, everyone has a support person and a safe space. I gently suggest that her therapist be in combination with a psychiatrist. I'm glad that she's trying and seems to have some insight. But she isn't okay. This isn't a problem for a second-year counseling student. She needs someone who can diagnose and prescribe meds. Good luck. Mary and Frank are a lot kinder than I would have been. So you have only been trying to conceive for 4 months and she is already acting like this? If so, the behavior is very concerning. It would be concerning regardless, but assuming she is not on fertility hormones, it leads me to believe she may have deeper issues. Therapy is an extremely good idea, especially if you do end up conceiving. It's slightly worrying to me how she sounds like a completely new person so often lately. Almost like there are multiple versions of her who don't know each other. This is a giant red flag for someone you're trying to conceive a child with. Sounds like you don't really know her, and it's only slightly worrying to you? In your first post she was a complete narcissist. Didn't understand why is it bad to have all the attention at someone else's party. Made up infertility. Ordered you around. You have to come. Now you must go, etc. Generally mentally unstable over a non-issue. This is all very concerning and I'd suggest at least get to know the person first before forcing a mother like this on your own children. Live as a married couple a year or 2. See how it goes. Oof. Good luck with the therapy. I'm glad she owned up to being wrong, but slightly worried in that she seems to be making the apology be too much about her as well. Insisting on paying it all when you already went over that with your friend and he refused. Plus bake a cake and take it over personally, etc. Maybe I'm just being uncharitable after the previous post though.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.